Good morning. It's Friday, February 25th, and this is a rant that should have come out probably yesterday. But I had a lot of things to do in order to make this rant, so I had to gather information and create some other situations, so I really couldn't get to this rant right away. But this is an important rant. This is something that happened that is unbelievable. This is about an ex-president who tried to pull off a coup, praising one of the world's worst dictators. We are talking about his friend. His friend, and I say that word meaningfully, his friend, Vladimir Putin, is a genius. And Trump declared him a genius. And he said he was very, very smart. But he also took into this conversation the fact that if he was president, this would have never happened. Well, I am telling you, he would have not been able to stop. Not in his wildest dreams would he ever been able to stop Putin. Because Putin took him for the sucker he is. Donald Trump is thinking he's smarter than everybody else. But he's not smarter than Vlad Putin. I'm not saying that Vlad Putin is the smartest man in the world, but he's crafty. He's sly. Look how long he has dragged this Ukraine issue out with all of the leaders of NATO and President Biden and President Macron. All of those people have been, I don't want to say kowtowing, but they haven't been able to push him hard. And that's a big mistake in my mind. But before we continue with that side of the coin, and I want to get into Trump more, I'm going to show you the clip that Donald Trump made. Well, he didn't make it. I made the clip, but he said the things that are in the clip. Okay? So take a listen.
I went in yesterday and there was a television screen, and I said, this is genius. Putin declares a big portion of the Ukraine. Putin declares it as independent. Oh, that's wonderful. So Putin is now saying it's independent, a large section of Ukraine. I said, how smart is that? And he's going to go in and be a peacekeeper. Here's a guy who's very savvy. I know him very well, very, very well. By the way, this never would have happened with us. Had I been in office, not even thinkable. This would never have happened.
So the thing might not have gone down the way you would expect it to. But this is what I think probably would have happened. Vlad doesn't want to really let Donald in on this thing. But Donald is smart enough to know that Vlad wants something. So he says to Vlad, listen, Vlad, I'll let you go into the Ukraine. I'll let you do it, and I'll figure out how to do that. Can we do a deal here? I get you into the Ukraine, and I'll give you 10% of the casino that you're going to let me build when you take control of the Ukraine. How about that? So I think that's what Donald would do. He would try to make a deal with Vlad so that he could build a casino, maybe a couple of high-rise apartment buildings or something like that, Trump Towers in the Ukraine, maybe overlooking whatever sea they have there, the Black Sea, whatever, and maybe even convince him that in addition to the casino we could build a great golf course or something like that. And I cut you in. That's probably what he would do. But getting back more seriously, it's an awful thing when the ex-president of the United States says Putin was brilliant. Putin is taking over the country, and he's doing it in a smart fashion, that he can declare those two sections of the country independent, and that's why he's sending in his peacekeepers. So Putin is lying to the world, absolutely lying to the world, and that's what Donald appreciates. Donald appreciates a good liar, right? So Putin has met his criteria for being a great man. He's a good liar, and he stands up to weaker people, I think, because because Donald Trump is very strong. He gets his way, right? Or he fires you if you don't behave according to his criteria. I can assure you that Putin heard Trump's words, and that will allow Trump to be a welcome guest anytime he wants to be in the Kremlin. So even if he doesn't run in 2024, he'll still be out there trying to peddle a tower in Moscow, or maybe even a casino in Moscow. But you think I'm kidding around about the casino in the Ukraine? I'm not. It sounds like a joke now, but if Putin heard nice things that Trump said about him, he might agree to letting Trump build a golf course or a casino. Because obviously Trump really doesn't give a shit about the rest of the world. If you really want to look at things, Trump's statements are probably a form of treason, because he is setting a bad example for the people of the United States. There's no question that many in the United States fear Russia, and they fear for NATO's future if Donald Trump comes back. And Trump also sent a message to the Republicans, who are branding the current president as weak, so that siding with the U.S. foe is the way into the ex-president's affections ahead of this year's midterm primaries. So the Republicans are loving what Trump says, because it puts them in a position to feel that he's on their side. But make no mistake about Trump. Trump is not on anybody's side but his own. Republicans, if they think that they got a message from Trump believes that President Biden is weak, they may be missing the point. That we in the United States must stick together as a country, stick together against Putin, stick together with NATO and our allies in the rest of the world. Trump threw them all under the bus when he was president. So, if you listen to Trump's words and you are a Republican, you should be ashamed of him and yourself for having a man who would stand up there and praise a dictator, a man who is known to jail journalists and kill people in order to keep his power, a man who will take you any way he can if it means something to him. So why do we have an ex-president standing up there and saying, this is a brilliant move, I love it, I love what he's doing, declaring independence and sending in so-called peacekeepers. And you're a Republican and you like that. What is this country coming to? You cannot see former dictator praising another dictator. There's something wrong, something seriously wrong. If any Republican is willing to get help from Donald Trump, they should be abandoning him. But that's not the Republican Party of today. That's not the party of Javits and Pataki, the party of Lincoln. This is a far, far cry from that party. So I leave you with that this morning. The Republican Party is a disgrace, who obviously doesn't really want this country to be a democracy. So that's all I have for this morning. Enjoy the day. Bye.